Hello everybody, welcome back to Road to Master. I hope you're all having an amazing day. We're starting off with the white pieces against a 1951 from Basque Country. That is a very interesting flag, and a country I don't think... Basque is near Spain, I think. I'm not quite sure. I'm sure someone will let me know. Anyway, we have the French, which I don't think we've seen in a very, very long time. And you know, we play the two knights against the French, which can get interesting, to say the least. Very tricky stuff. They go for takes. Knight there. And we're just going to take this knight. We're just going to take this knight and play d4. Going into the Rubinstein variation, apparently. I don't know. But we're looking for like g5, h4. Bishop g5, h4. And we're sort of just looking to trap the queen, to be honest. And I don't think we're very far off here at all. I don't think we're very far off. We've got threats of knight e5. Against that, what was the move? Yes, queen f6. Oh, did we have to go bishop d3 first? Oh, was it bishop d3, h6, h4, and then go bishop g5? Queen f5 seems like something I should know. Can we just keep developing? I don't see why we can't just keep developing. Check. We can bring the bishop back, potentially, or we could try trade off queens. Let's trade off queens. It's probably not the right move, but we're going into a very, like, I don't want to say equal endgame. Well, I mean, it by definition, I guess it is an equalish endgame. The question is c4 or c3 here. Or just castle. I don't mind castle, to be fair. Castle, yeah, sure. We're going into a even-ish endgame. We both had the bishop pair. We both got knight. I've got more space in the center, which could be argued as an advantage, slight advantage for me. But, you know, who really knows? Who really knows, to be honest? What do we do with these pawns? What do we do with these pawns? We could try push. H3, B4 and try push these. Yes, the question is we don't want to end up with an isolated pawn. We probably need to go rook e1 at some point and just put pressure on the e file. It's probably going to be the e and c file, I reckon. If I was to guess, the e or the c file that opens up. Let's go a c4. And just sort of thinking what we want to do with our pawns. We don't actually have to push anything. We don't have to weaken our pawn structure with an isolated pawn by pushing. We can just keep this here and claim that we've got all of this space in the center. And they don't, basically. I think it's the way to play it. You just play the space advantage. We could go knight e5. Do we actually want to take this bishop? Do we actually want to take this bishop? We probably do, right? And go into a bishop endgame. A bishop pair endgame. I just don't think there's anything wrong with it, to be honest. Yes. Can we go there? Takes. Meh. Let's go bishop g5. Bishop g5. What did I just say? Bishop g5 seems okay. We're putting a bit of pressure on the knight, potentially looking for a d5 push. And we'll go rook d1 here. With obviously bishop takes h7 as the threat if knight takes. Rook takes, sorry. We're still potentially looking for d5 as a push, with potential back rank mates as well. Takes. Yeah, so they've got rid of that threat, and we're just. Do we want to move back? We still don't have to defend it, right? We do want to keep the bishop pair, though. Could we push that? That would be insane, right? That would be insane. This sort of forces off trades, which I'm not a fan of. Thing is, we don't want to hold on to our bishop pair too much. That's something I really need to work on. I think is being too focused on one particular advantage, and that's sort of causing me to be afraid of transferring the advantage, if you get me. Because you do need to be flexible with these ideas, and if you're not, something is probably not going to work out as well as it could have. Is my sort of line of thinking from what I gather from lessons and whatnot. It's a bit risky playing rook d2 because there is potential e5 with back rank mates after like a rook takes or something. Yeah, maybe we just get rid of our back rank problems then. I don't see anything particularly wrong with that. I'm considering playing a c5 and living with this backwards pawn. It's a scary thing to do though. It does sort of stop their knight completely. But I think the way is bishop e4. And now we've got our bishop on a bit of a nicer diagonal. With a bit more potential for being better. Knight there. Yeah. Potentially go back. Oh, that's a waste of a move, that is. I think we have to, though, right? Yeah, maybe. Then again, we could play f4. f4 is interesting. Knight takes, pawn takes. And we're potentially looking at a d5. I don't mind that, you know. I don't mind that at all. And another thing about f4 is that if they decide not to and go here, we have this space now for our bishop. Although they are threatening to also take as well. So do we have to take this? Potentially. Potentially. I think we do. At least it's going into a same bishop endgame. And I think we're definitely the ones pushing for things. But it's probably relatively even, I think. Push for d5, I think is a shout. I don't see why not. Potentially looking at taking this, but then b7 is a move. That's really, really annoying. We can potentially check as well. We probably want to leave this on the board, right? We probably don't want to trade off the rooks. I think that's one of our bigger advantages. There is threats of king e7. We go bishop c5 with borderline mating threats. Would be nice. That's a good move from them. But I think it kills their play a bit. Let's go. Let's go rook d3. Rook d3 gives the flexibility of dropping this bishop back over here. That is a move. A move for sure. Can we take the push this? Push. Push takes, bishop takes, pawn takes. And we're playing with the passed pawn against a doubled pawn. Is very interesting. Is very interesting. I think we do that, right? I think we do that. And then after the rooks trade off, the king can potentially come up here and pick up this H pawn. And then you're pushing this. They have to take because they can't move away. Because then takes. They go this way, though. Doesn't seem particularly accurate. We get another passer this way. Or not. Or not. Let's go King F2. I'm not sure about King F2 because you're potentially blocking squares for the bishop, but I think it is important for the king to get active. We'll drop the bishop back and look for H4. If the rooks move, we can start pushing this pawn potentially. And the rook can always come to H1 if needed as well. They go there. That doesn't make sense to me, really. I don't see what the purpose of that one is. Can we just keep with H4? I think we can. You could argue that we're sticking the pawn on a dark square. They go there as well. Well, I just leave that. I ignore that, right? I can potentially even push G4 as well. That's an interesting move. I don't think we want to do that, though. Yeah. Okay. Let's go King E2 and potentially look at Bishop D4. No, Bishop D4 is probably not good, to be honest. That may or may not have been a waste of a move. King there's Rook H1. Well, now we push this side and we look for a bishop there and then push the pawn. That seems like a mistake from them. Take. Bishop takes doesn't seem right. Okay, and now we push D6. No. We take. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know if we're doing well here or not. We're running so low on time. This is annoying. But they can't really do much about it. The bishop also can't particularly go anywhere. I think I do this. Check. Oh no, that's a huge mistake. We walked into that one. We need to go H3. Because now they've got it discovered. Luckily, I don't think it actually does anything. Yeah. I don't think it does anything. Probably Rook B4. Actually, no, because we can just take the bishop, right? We can just take the bishop, so we're all good. This needs to, like, all be pre-moved as well. Otherwise, we're going to lose on time. Oh, no. Oh, no. This is scary. This is such a complicated position as well. I'd love to spend so much time on this, but unfortunately, this is not the nature of Rapid. Ay, ay, ay. What are we doing? What are we doing? Please enlighten me. Rook there. Go there. Go there. Check. I think we're probably drawing this, right? Think we're probably drawing this. Yeah, I don't think we have anything. This might be a hard draw to actually do, though. I think we're good. I think we're good to draw. We should be able to draw this with time. We can actually start these checks now. Oh! No! The misclick. Oh, no. The misclick. I could have just... actually, no. There's no point taking that. There is no point taking that. Ay, ay, ay. Promote to queen. Promote to queen. Please. Oh, you're boring. Ay, ay, ay. Oh, I can't believe that. Oh, that's funny, though. I like that. That's funny. Yeah. It was a good game, though. Oh, you're boring, man. Trying to flag me. There we go. Okay. Yeah, we probably should have won that. Probably then should have drawn that. I mean, it is an easy draw after that. I literally just clicked on the wrong square. Which is typical, to be honest. Very, very typical. But hey, there's the nature of the game. There's the nature of the game. Let's have a look. 82.7 versus 85.4. Slight advantage out the opening. And then apparently we made a hefty mistake playing for a draw, and then obviously our mouse slip. 23.50 versus 22.50. Higher accuracy. No, lower accuracy. Higher estimated rating, though. That's strange. I wonder how they base these. Anyway, we have the two knights French. I feel like I should know this theory. This seems... Yeah. So, queen there. Then you go bishop d3. Or do you go h4 first? Yeah. Not takes. You go there, and then is it like a g4? Or h3? h3, yeah. h6 traps the queen. So you got to be careful not to trap the queen here. No, the queen... Oh, yeah, so that opens that. So you go... There is a trick here, I think. Oh, apparently not. Apparently not. Yeah. There is some other lines, I think. I'm not sure. I need to recap on this theory. Anyway, they go there. And this is the move. And you drop back with the bishop is the plot. And then apparently you just claim development. I'm not quite sure. Anyway, we decided to trade off queens. Which, straight away, it's looking drawish. I hate to say it. But sometimes positions are just drawn. And apparently it was an inaccuracy to trade off the light squared bishop. The bishop pair, while it's good, you know, it's not a guarantee of a win. Apparently that's a blunder. Oh, they can just take the pawn, right? They can just take the pawn. Duh. Oh my gosh. Luckily, luckily they didn't. And I felt I was better here. Oh, what? You take this? But after b6, surely you're just trapped. Oh, b6, c5. Ah. That's a trick with the discovered on the rook. But, yeah, once they take this, you're free to take this. Rook takes, takes. You are pretty clearly winning. No? Drawing? Really? That's drawn. You're trying to tell me this is drawn? Fair enough. Fair enough. Proves that I am not a computer. Proves that I am not a computer. Where did I go wrong then? Oh, it was this. Oh, so you take this with a tempo on the rook, and then you take this. And the difference is, oh, not another mouse slip. A, this is more further advanced. B, there is a pawn behind blocking it. So they go there, you can go there, which is crazy. I really, really like that line. B6. We messed about a bit here. F4 is actually the move, which is really cool. Still drawn, though. Still drawn. Takes. Yeah, we move the kings about a bit. Shuffle. H4 is a good idea. And apparently you meant to just take this. And again, you're playing for a draw. You know, it's really hard accepting that the game is drawn, especially when you think you've had a nice position. And that causes you to overextend. Luckily, this tactic does not work. Because if they go for this, we just take the checking piece, which is really good for us. Luckily, that just works. We trade off into a draw. Take this. Throw around some checks. Trade off. And if you watch my video on Rook and Queen endgames, you would know this one is the Philidor position. We've claimed the third rank, good and proper. There is nothing they can ever do to kick us out from there. And after this, you just go for checks. Literally, there's nothing they can do. Yeah, at all. The king gets too far away. Like if you keep checking, the king gets close. You go here. And then what are they going to do? They don't have the king to defend the pawn. If they decide to block with the rook, now you've dragged the king away. Take the pawn. It's simple as, really. It's not that complicated at all. Luckily, luckily for them, I don't know how to use a mouse. And my coordination with my hands is abysmal for some reason. But hey, I felt generous giving them some points. That sounds very egotistical. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Please like if you liked. Please subscribe if you really liked. And I'll catch you guys all tomorrow. Bye-bye.